Welcome to the source.
And
the source. Source. Hey, get the source.
Friday. What's up? I hope everyone, honestly, I wish everyone a well and fun weekend, except anybody associated with Appalachian State University. What in the hell was that? I mean, that might have been one of the worst performances in the program history last night. Jets came through, though. I didn't bet it or anything, but posted it on YouTube. Nice to get a win there.
If only I would have known. South Alabama basketball team always comes through for me in the clutch. I would have told you that. But
that would have had zero impact on my decision.
I'm just letting you know that I'm just letting you know, South Alabama, you gotta watch out for them boys.
Watch out for them boys. All right, so we got a bunch of baseball games to get through, and then we're gonna do the 3 college football games. So let's get started. Pittsburgh on the road at Cincinnati. Pirates won for you yesterday.
I didn't end up betting them, but I ended up passing, and the Nats just left the bases loaded again. God damn it. Reds, Pirates. Reds money line for me. I'm going to continue. Pirates got a nice win yesterday. But at the same time, Mitch Keller, in his history in Great America Small Park, is not good. Just under 9 innings, 8 runs, 11 hits over this year and last year. Not a spot that I really like him. Not to mention 3 of his last 4 road starts, he's been absolutely obliterated. Mitch Keller isn't the same guy that he was earlier in the season. I will give you that those road starts were Texas, Cleveland, San Diego, and LA. So clearly the offense for Cincinnati is not as potent as those guys. But keep in mind, Cleveland's been dead for a while now. He still does use his right arm, and Cleveland had 11 hits against him that night. That was only a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. So really hard for me to think that Mitch Keller comes out here and pitches extremely well. Not to mention that we have Nick Martinez, who started to kind of little bit find himself a little bit as a starter. His last couple of starts, they were on the road, but 6 and 7 innings against Minnesota and Atlanta, both playoff teams, 13 innings, only 1 run. He hasn't been very successful at home, but Houston and Milwaukee, those offenses much more potent for me than that Pittsburgh offense. Pittsburgh won yesterday. Sure as hell wasn't because of their bats. I think the Reds get this one at home after a nice back-to-back games where they just got absolutely embarrassed by Atlanta. I think the final score between those 2 teams are 2 games just like 22-4. I think the Reds bounce back today.
Yeah, I'm wearing the Reds hat. Red sounds good. I'll add the Reds to my list of possible bets here. There's 15 games, so I don't want to just start throwing them down yet. All right, next game. Blue Jays Rays. Barrios against I don't even know who's pitching. Who's pitching for Tampa?
Tyler Alexander is the opener. I will not bet this game. It would be, if I had to, gun to my head, it'd be Toronto first 5 or pass. Barrios has been really, really good, even on the road. His last 4 road starts, Los Angeles, Boston, Minnesota, and Atlanta, 6 innings, pretty much going 6 or 7 innings of 1-run baseball in all those. Barrios has been really good. I'm just not at a point where I want to lay juice or bet on either one of these 2 teams. Really hit or miss. Toronto looked really good yesterday. They looked the exact opposite of that on Wednesday. So I don't really know how to cap these 2 teams when they have nothing to play for. Like I said, Barrios has been pitching much better than Tyler Alexander. He also has a decent history pitching in the Trop the last year and a half or so. So it'd be Jay's first 5 money line or pass or run line. I don't know what the price is, but yeah.
No, I'm super good on that. Yeah. No chance I'm betting that one. Let me open up.
I'm so furious right now at the Nationals.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was an early game today.
Cubs have 1 run, and I think the Nationals had the bases loaded at least twice, maybe 3 times, and they don't even have a run. It's just killing me.
Any bullpens taxed? We'll get to it.
We'll get that.
All right, what's up? Tigers, Orioles up next in Baltimore. Corbin Burns against Kiter Montero is the pitching matchup here. I mean, Tigers have been winning games. Kiter Montero's been dealing. Corbin Burns, is he still overvalued?
Yes, 100%.
You're taking the Tigers?
Yeah, I took the Tigers last night. I don't know what the number is right now. Let me look. I got the Tigers plus 165 last night. I honestly didn't even cap the game very much.
It's down to 140.
Yeah. Okay. Holy cow. I would still play them at that number. I know that that's crazy saying that you're losing 24 cents of value, but I look. Kyle just said, Kiter Montero has been pitching really well for Detroit. And Detroit, again, I keep on preaching this because people tend to think that I'm just crazy. 8-2 their last 10, 13-7 their last 20, or 20, and 21-9 their last 30. This team has played their way into a playoff spot. That is right. They are in the playoffs right now as we speak. Has Corbin Burns been decent? Yeah. I mean, again, but he's only going 5 or 6 innings maybe, and then we're going to get multiple shots at that Baltimore bullpen. A Baltimore bullpen that was used yesterday. Again, they had multiple days off prior to that, but I don't know if you guys watched very much.
Hold on, it's baseball. Not. Is it not Montero anymore?
Did they change it?
Brett Herter. Okay. RotoWire saying Brett Herter. Action Network saying Holton. ESPN saying undecided. I just checked three sources.
It's not Montero anymore.
They switched the pitcher.
Honestly, guys, though, I wasn't betting on Kiter Montero. I was betting on the Baltimore Orioles being this big of a favorite. I don't give two shits if Corbin Burns is pitching well or not. Baltimore can't score to save their life. I mean, yesterday was so lucky. I had Giants first 5 money line, and they scored 3 runs in the 4th because of a couple walks and a lucky Adley double and a Jackson Holiday hit up the middle. Besides that, they did diddly poo the whole game until a Santander walk-off home run. I mean, congratulations. A dead clock is right twice a day as well. So, yeah, Detroit wins this game. They continue to stay hot. This price is absolutely ridiculous. I don't care who's pitching.
All right, let's move on to Braves Marlins up next. Man, I really could use a Marlins win. Really could use a Marlins win here. Bayoso, Uncle Charlie on the road. If I had to guess, I'd say Charlie Morton has very nice looking numbers against the Marlins. I don't know that for a fact.
No, he doesn't actually at all.
Okay, I'm listening.
His last 3 starts, he has 1 really good one and 2 dog shit ones. Last 2 starts in Miami for Charlie Morton, just over 10 innings, 13 hits, 12 runs. Really, really struggles when he goes down into Miami. This game is a pure pass for me. I mean, the Braves are still the Braves. They haven't been playing well lately, but again, the last 3 games, given they were in Cincinnati, 5, 7, 15 runs. So if they're hot, they'll be playing well. It's just a matter if you want to pay a minus 200 price with Charlie Morton on the mound, knowing that he has a bad history against Miami. Not to mention the fact that, not that I'm trying to make a case that Miami is some special team and that you got to look them ways, but against right-handed pitching the last 14 days, 5th in our WRC plus, 3rd in OPS, 3rd in WOBO the last 30 days, 7th, 5th, and 5th, both in all 3 of those categories. At home, it's even better. So the Marlins versus right-handed pitching at home has been pretty decent. It would be over or pass for me. Again, I didn't bet this one, but that's the only way I would look at it.
Yeah, another 8.5. They continue to throw these low numbers out at a ballpark. Oh, our graphic says 9, so maybe it's moved up to 9 now. They could continue to throw these numbers out there. The over's hitting at like 73% in this. It's up to 8.5. I'm sorry, 8.5 or 9. I'm seeing both.
Yeah, you can get
so yeah, the over's hitting at 73% in this ballpark this year. It's crazy. So yeah, I guess it would be over or pass. Next game.
Neither bullpen is taxed, so that's kind of held me off. But
Grimace.
Yep. Grimace first 5 money line for me. Not that like the bullpen is super taxed. Diaz went yesterday, but they did see Garrett, Stanek, and Young yesterday, and the Phillies did end up scoring late in that game. So didn't really want to deal with the Mets bullpen, but I did want to deal with David Peterson, who has been absolutely fantastic for the Mets this year. Over his last 7 starts, he had 1 bad start on the road in Toronto, but besides that, he looked really good against Philadelphia, Boston, Arizona, San Diego, Oakland. So I have a hard time believing that David Peterson doesn't pitch well here today. He also pitched against the Phillies earlier this year in Philadelphia, where he went 7 2/3, only gave up 1 run. And Christopher Sanchez on the other side, not a guy, dude. Not a guy that I'm like trying to fade every time, but this is going to be the 3rd time that the Mets have seen him this year. Mets have also seen him a lot last year, and the Mets have been absolutely I mean, doing a really good job of hitting left-handed pitching pretty much all season. Third in the last 14 days. Over the full season, they're first in WRC+, they're fourth in WOBA, they're fourth in OPS. At home, those numbers are pretty much the damn same as well. Sanchez really good at home, really kind of struggles on the road. Again, I don't want to deal with the Mets in the bullpen situation, but I do think that they have a pretty clear advantage here in the first 5. So I did play the Mets first 5 money line.
Right now, considering this game's in Citi Field, would you say the Mets have the starting and pitching advantage in this game?
Yes.
That's crazy. Imagine saying that in like late May. Be like, oh,
yeah, that I'd be looked at as crazy.
Christopher Sanchez against David Peterson. I don't know. I feel like the Phillies win this game, honestly. That they saw all the main Mets bullpen arms yesterday. I mean, we're getting at a pick 'em at this
playoff spot tonight if the Phillies win.
Yeah, and honestly, I won't bet the Phillies, but if you're asking me who I think wins this baseball game, I think it's the Phillies. It's just, man, I'm having fun watching these Mets games, and I haven't really even been betting them. It's just it's fun as a Mets fan watching them. So I hope the Mets win, but this feels like the game that they would drop. I'm actually a little worried about the last 3 games of this Phillies series. We can't score 11 runs every night. That's not possible. Grimace is magical. He's not that magical. Can't average
I mean, over the last 10 games, you've done it 10, 10, 10.
I know.
11,
that's
6.
not, that can't last.
Oh, I know that. I'm just saying.
And the crazy part is, JD Martinez is cold. He's not even hitting. We're still scoring 10 a night without him. Nuts.
Home runs do amazing things. I mean, Alvarez and Vientos is just an electric factory. Those two together are just so fun to watch.
Next up, Twins, Red Sox. Oh, Fitz is pitching.
I
yeah, Mr. Weskers, thank you. I always forget that we have those super chats. I turned them on a couple weeks ago. We never had them. Appreciate it, man.
What was the super chat? Did he ask a question or anything?
No, he just said all hail Kirms.
Okay. I wanted to make sure we answered the question if he did a super chat.
I wouldn't have ignored it if he asked the question. I would have made sure.
Okay. I didn't mean it like that. I was just like, okay.
Someone throws $5 in, asks a question, just ignore it. No, we're good.
Yeah. I have zero interest in betting this game. Oh no.
You all right?
Yeah, everything's not responding. Anyway, I'm surprised you can still see me.
You're frozen, but I can hear you. Can they hear him?
Let me come out and come back.
They can still hear you, but leave and come back, but they can hear you.
Well, this is not a good time because now my cursor's not showing up.
My Google Chrome is just like not.
All right, so host is gonna leave and come back. Yeah, it always freezes him on a funny ass face. Yeah, they could hear him, but for some reason his image froze. Yeah, Dick Fitz. It's Richard Fitz, but Dick Fitz. Your cursor's back already?
Yeah, wow, that was the quickest it's ever come back.
Then they say that.
Do you hear him, Kyle?
No.
I do.
All right, I'll leave and come back. Put him on the screen because he's the one talking about the game.
You're gonna come back, Toast, and he's gonna leave now.
Yeah, because he's the one talking about the game. They don't need to hear
the wonders of OBS. So you could talk about the game, and Kyle will come back.
Got you. So this Twins game, I don't really want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. I don't think that anybody in their right mind can bet Boston at this point. Even at a decent price, I would need at least like plus 120 or something to bet Boston. They have just been so bad over the last month and a half. Over their last 30 games, 4-6 their last 10, 7-13 their last 20, 11-19 their last 30. Just playing really, really bad baseball. They're not scoring runs at all. Every once in a while they'll have an outburst, but over their last 10 games for Boston, 0-2-3, 2-7, 4-1-5, 3-12. I mean, this team is just not scoring runs. The reason that I can't back Minnesota is because I just hate the spot for them coming off of a 4-game series, divisional series against Cleveland. 2 of those games were in extra innings, and now their bullpen is pretty damn taxed. again, if the bullpen wasn't as terrible as it is for Minnesota as far as the tax side of it, I would be probably on Minnesota just because Boston is so bad. But the fact that Minnesota does have some issues is in the bullpen, Duran, Jax, Sands, Louis Varland, and Ronnie Hernandez are Enriquez. I don't even know who the hell that is. Anyway, all worked 2 of the last 3 nights. They don't have anybody fresh. So it's Twins or pass, but I wouldn't touch this game with the 10-foot pole.
Yeah, someone said Sauce called Jets 27-6. I thought I was going to get that for a minute there. It was 24-3, and the Jets had the ball just outside of field goal range, and I was like, this is lining up. I thought I was going to hit it. But yeah, that game went about how I expected it to go. But all right, let's move on to the next baseball game.
God damn it. Nats ML X. Fuck.
Those damn. Oh, DeGrom is on the mound, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Mariners money line?
Yep. Mariners money line plus, what did I get it at? Plus 105. What is it right now?
People are drinking the DeGrom Kool-Aid, bro. My friend who's a diehard Rangers fan is like, dude, he's throwing 99. I'm like, all right, sweet, bet him.
Yeah, it's Jacob DeGrom. That's what he does. The issue, that's not the issue. The issue is how long does that 99 last?
Is he on an inning limit?
I don't see. I mean, I don't know if he's technically on one, but I mean, his first start was 3 2/3 innings. His previous start in 2023 was 3 2/3 innings. I mean, he's only made 1 start or 2 starts in his last 5, going back however many years that is. That's over 5 innings. So to think that he's going to go very deep into this game is kind of a fallacy, in my opinion. I get that the Mariners can't score runs. I wouldn't mind an under in this game. It is 7 for a reason. But I will. George Kirby till I freaking die. You guys know that.
What are you talking about? You bailed on him like a month ago.
I know. But I'm right back in the saddle. It's the Padres. He got killed up by the Padres. It is what it is. But I did bail on him. You're right. But, and there's a huge but about this. He owns the Texas Rangers. In his last 5 starts against the Texas Rangers, he's went at least 6 innings in every single one of those starts and hasn't given up more than 2 runs in any of them. The Texas Rangers bats are among dead. I mean, they scored 13 runs one night against Toronto in that crazy game. Before that game, they scored 0. After that game, 0 and 2. So if they put up a 13 spot so on George Kirby or something like that, so be it. But I do think that the Mariners have a pretty significant starting pitching advantage. Not to mention that George Kirby should pitch into the 6th, 7th inning or whatnot. You'll get Jacob DeGrom for, I don't know, maybe let's just call it 4. And then you're going to see guys like maybe Jack Leiter, maybe Garson Garbadio, maybe some Festa. Pennington's going to be down today. There's just really nothing in that Texas bullpen that scares me. I will give you that the Seattle bullpen hasn't been anything impressive. But Seattle is still alive, technically. We know that they're dead. Everybody knows that they're dead, but in that locker room, they believe that they're still alive. The math says they're still alive, so they do have something to play for, unlike Texas. I just couldn't pass up the plus money.
What are they? They're 5 out of the Astros, and they're not even in the wild card. Oh, no, they're 2 out of a wild card spot. They're alive.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but they're dead, but
they're not. What are you talking about?
Nobody's worried about playing Seattle. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but they can still make the playoffs very realistically.
Yeah. Yep, they can make it and play 2 games just like they do all the time. Good job.
Who are they going to lose to? Baltimore?
Okay, touche. My bad.
I mean, the AL sucks. The AL sucks. Is there one good baseball team in the AL? Is there one decent team in the AL?
The bad guys.
They're all right.
That's the only one.
Padres pimp slapped them. All right, let's go on to the next one.
Well, the Padres be pimp slapping everybody these days.
That's what I'm saying. The top 5 teams in the NL just don't lose baseball games.
Oh, I know. It's gonna. The playoffs are just gonna. NL playoffs are gonna be free. I mean, can you imagine San Diego, New York again? Mets, Padres again?
No, I want the scumbags.
Well, you wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't want that either.
No. We would beat the Padres because of the revenge factor. But there's one city I want. You know who it is.
Oh, I know it. You.
Say it that we did it to them. We did it to those Sixers. I want the Phillies.
I know you want the Phillies.
I want to bury that city alive again.
I want to watch that series.
That's what I want. All right, Angels, Astros, Tyler Anderson versus Verlander. I saw Steve, just a bet outside is on Verlander under outs. By the way, he tweeted it out, so I saw that. Like Verlander under 17.5 outs.
This is a carbon copy of the Giants bet that I lost yesterday. I literally did the same thing. Bet LA Angels first 5 money line plus 175 last night. Woke up to see it at plus 195, and I bet that son of a bitch again. This price is wrong. I'm sorry. If I lose the bet, I lose the bet, but I will not go back on this price is wrong. Has Tyler Anderson been pitching better than Justin Verlander? Yes. I don't care what his numbers look at home. On the road, Tyler Anderson is pitching fantastic. Let's just go through really quickly last 4. On the road at Yankee Stadium, 6 innings, 1 run. On the road in Kansas City, there's your blow up. 6 innings, 11 hits, 4 runs. On the road in Toronto, 5 innings, 2 runs. On the road at Texas, 5 innings, 2 runs. So, I mean, the keyboard warriors might tell me that he's been hit up by Houston twice. I would tell you guys both of those starts in LA. His last start in Houston, which was this year, he went 8 innings, gave up 6 hits in a run. I have no reason to believe that Tyler Anderson doesn't pitch well here today. Not to mention the fact that after the Astros played those Angels series, those bats have been dead. And I will give you, they played San Diego, who has one of the best pitching staffs, if not the best pitching staff in Major League Baseball. But they didn't do diddly poo yesterday. They got lucky to score on a walk-off. So, or pretty damn close. I don't remember if it was the 8th or the 9th inning, but I mean, Justin Verlander hasn't been good at all. I mean, his last 2 home starts, I mean, Arizona, we all remember that. It was 3 innings and 8 runs. I mean, giving up 2 runs to Boston is like 4 to any other team. He gave up 4 to St. Louis as well. Again, this price is just absolutely ridiculous. If I lose it, I lose it, but I have no problem making this bet multiple times. This price is wrong. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with that. That was pretty compelling. Yeah, Angels first 5 money line sounds good.
Thank you.
Maybe, I mean, why not the full game? Fuck it. Hater sucks.
That Angels, well, that is very true. Most overrated player in Major League Baseball. But so does their bullpen. And without Ben Joyce in that bullpen, I don't want anything to deal with it.
All right, next game. Why isn't Ben Joyce in the bullpen?
He's hurt.
Oh, did he really get hurt?
He should be all right. It's only a 15-day.
Oh, Brewers money line. Or are the Brewers still in celebration mode?
So I did something here that probably going to get a lot of shit for. And if he fucks me, I'll never forget it. I hate it. Diamondbacks first 5 money line. Zach Gallen on the road
in Milwaukee.
Colin Ray's terrible as a starter. I mean, out of the bullpen, he's been pretty decent, but as a starter, he's been absolutely terrible. He has, especially, it doesn't really matter if it's at home or on the road. The only time that he pitched well is against one team, and it was against who?
Wait, hold on. There's no way that's the right price.
I was going to say that can't
plus
be the right
175.
No.
It looks like Andy might have accidentally put the Angels price for the Diamondbacks.
Minus 115 or minus 120, one of the two. But I would agree, Andy. Zach Gallen is trash, so I get it. It makes sense.
That's the implied price.
Thank you, Beaver. But regardless, I do think that the Snakes hold a pretty big advantage here. I was really impressed with what they did last night, scoring another 5 runs coming out of Coors Field. And like I mentioned yesterday, the Brewers aren't scoring runs themselves. So unless Zach Gallen has a classic Zach Gallen blow-up day, I mean, Milwaukee's not scoring runs. Their last 10 games, really quickly, 1-2-1, 6-10-15 against Arizona, which was a series that might as well just throw that out the window because every team, they were just hitting balls that everybody else was not hitting. But besides that, then 2-3, 2-3. So you take out those 3 games against Arizona, they can't even score three runs a game. So I honestly believe, unless Zach Gallen gets absolutely throttled here tonight, we have a pretty huge advantage here in the first 5, even knowing that Zach Gallen is terrible on the road. So I did play Arizona first 5. I hate it. I pray to God that he comes up and comes through for me, because if he doesn't, we're going to have some issues.
And if he fucks you, you'll never forget.
You'll remember it.
I'll never forget it.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Next up.
You'll never forget. A night to remember with toast.
Giants Royals.
You're
the one that said it, bro. Yeah. If he fucks me, I'll never forget it. That's what you said. What are we supposed to be like?
Thank you for bringing that up, Cameron Toth. Thank you.
All right, next up, Giants.
Wait, why is my camera off?
No, it froze
no.
again. Your camera
It's
keeps
so-
freezing, but they can hear you.
That's so weird.
Next up, we got Giants Royals. Is it Michael Black? Michael Black's the pitcher. It looks like your camera's back, by the way.
Michael
I just
Black.
switched it.
I believe it's Mason.
Whatever, dude. And Black.
Emma Black.
I'm not handicapping the games, man. I'm just hosting.
No, I'm not. I didn't know either. If I was being dead honest, I didn't know off the top of my head. I can't lay juice with the Royals the way that they're playing right now. I know that Detroit's are playing really good right now. But at the same time, Kansas City's beating teams like Pittsburgh, and that's it over the last, 2 weeks or so. So until the Royals show me something, I just can't lay juice with them. Do I think that they win today? Yeah, Michael Wacha has been extremely good for them. Maybe if you wanted to play a Royals first 5 run line, I guess that would make the most sense for me. But like I said, I'm just not in a position where I can be laying juice with this Royals team right now. So they have a pretty significant starting pitching advantage. I'm pretty sure, let me double check. I'm pretty sure if I look, the bullpen's all fine and dandy. Let me double check. Yeah, they're all good to go. So it'd be Royals or pass, but like I said, there's no way I lay juice with this team right now. They're just playing like dog shit.
I'm not betting the Giants, even at plus 154. Cleveland, St. Louis. Oh, where's Gibson been? Has he been hurt?
Kyle? No, I don't think so.
I feel like this was the first time I've seen him on the mound in a while. Maybe we must have not done the live show. He must have pitched on Saturday or something when we did the college football or something.
He did actually, yes.
So earlier in the season, we were blindly fading Kyle Gibson in St. Louis, and on the road is when you could back him. Are those splits still alive?
Not as much. His last couple, he's had actually his last 4 home starts. 3 of them have been really good. The only bad one was the Padres. So, again, and we all know how the Padres are playing right now. So it's hard to them. Again, this is a pure coin flip to me. I would lean Cleveland at the price, but again, you have Cleveland off of a long homestand. We know Cleveland doesn't nearly play. Cleveland 48-28 at home compared to 41-37 on the road. They're just a different team when they play in Cleveland. Now they're coming off of back-to-back games against a division rival in Minnesota. So again, Cleveland's bullpen taxed among Bolivian.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, so just for the record, though, Class A, 4 of the last 5 days. Doesn't matter. I'm just letting you guys know 4 of the last 5 days. Heron, Sandlin, Walters, and Morgan, all 3 of the last 4 days as well. Absolutely taxed among Bolivian. Like I said, I can't touch this. This game is an absolute pure coin flip to me. So Cleveland at the price, but there's no way I touch it.
We got a super chat from Mr. Shipley.
Who cares? It's Shipley.
Who cares?
What did he say?
Is it $100?
He says White Sox are free. Merrill is a fraud. Go Skeens. I'm glad we stopped the show to read that, Jim. All right, next up. What's next? Yankees, A's in Oakland. Garrett Cole pitching against JT Ginn.
That'd be correct. Yes, you read that right.
JT Ginn.
Hell of a name, though, right? Am I wrong? No.
It's not a bad name.
Better than Garrett Cole.
I think Garrett Cole's a cool name.
I don't.
You strike out 12 guys a night, you could be named Garrett. That's fine with me.
Yeah, that's cool. When you go like this and go like this and then get your shit pushed in. You
Oh
mean
my
nothing
God,
to
he
me.
made one mistake.
No, there was like 15 mistakes in that game if you watched. But I mean, that was just the first one, like this. So Oakland first 5 team total over 1.5 plus 100 on ESPN bet. It's probably moved to like minus 115 now. I'm gonna make sure. I just want Cole to prove it to me. I want to make sure that start didn't screw him up in a little bit. We all know that Cole's kind of a mental case, and he was rolling through that start. And I'm dead serious when I say that too. He walked Devers like this, and everything went down the hill from there. He couldn't locate anything. He couldn't strike anybody out. His pitches weren't breaking. Does he have a solid history against Oakland? Yes, that was all 2022 and before. That means absolutely nothing to me. This Oakland lineup, with a lot of guys that can hit the ball well, with Brent Rooker and Lawrence Butler and Geloff and Blade and Shea Langoliers is coming around. I mean, if you look at our spreadsheets that we send out, I mean, it is green among green with every single Oakland Athletics bat here today. Mariners coming off, Yankees coming off that series with the Mariners. Oakland had a day off yesterday, so they're just sitting here ready and waiting. This is going to be the last time that the Yankees probably play in Oakland. So maybe there's a little bit of a get up for the Oakland A's. But like I said, I think that Oakland can score a couple runs here today. So to get to our 1.5 team total at the first 5 because of the name Garrett Cole, I just couldn't pass that up. So like I said, guys like Rooker and Butler are just playing way too good right now to have that number so low. So I'm more than happy to take my chances.
Someone said that if someone pays for a super chat, we should read it without being dicks. It's Shipley. He's our friend. He's our friend. He's not a random person. He's a shithead. And he deserves, his message deserves to be read like that. No, he's a friend of ours. He's not a random person. All right. Next up.
I think he deserves equal respect to all others.
I don't. Agree to disagree. He was trying to, he said the White Sox are free in it.
I agree.
They have 127 losses. Speaking of which, White Sox Padres up next. He might have timed that. He might have did that on purpose.
I'm sure he did. He hasn't got anything else to do.
Yeah, someone said, can someone tell me Toast? Because someone tell Toast it's taxed to oblivion, not taxed like Bolivian. I thought he said to oblivion, to be honest.
I usually do say to. I mean, when you're live every day, you make.
I like that. I might take that though. It's taxed like Bolivian.
I mean, right. I still say Carlos Rondon. I mean,
yeah,
it's just always going to be that way for me. I don't know. It is what it is. Padres minus 1.5. Set and forget it, guys. Set it and forget it.
Garrett, bro.
Read? Who?
Garrett
Crochet?
Yes, the pitcher.
I hope you guys get there early tonight because he's only going to be in there for about 2 or 3 innings. So thank God Petco Park is beautiful and it gets everybody in there easy.
So White Sox first 5?
Sure. Do what you got to do, bro. Try to fade Joe Musgrove. See how that works out for you. Yeah.
You like went from fading Musgrove to all aboard pretty quickly.
Yeah. Things change really fast. So he went from being hurt to being fine, and now he has his changeup working and that beautiful curveball working that nobody can touch. And as you can see, he had 1 blow-up start against San Francisco. His previous 6 before that, all fantastic starts. I have no reason to believe, not to mention we got Chicago coming off a 13-inning game and then having to travel. I mean, the travel was 45 minutes, but it is what it is. The Padres continue to win games. I'm not going to keep on going into it. Padres minus 1.5 plus 100.
Yeah, kind of tough too. Although, who cares about the travel? They had a day off, so who gives a shit about that?
That's why I said it's 45 minutes.
You don't think Padres flat spot after the? No. Let's just go to the next game. Fuck this.
Well, I can answer it. They don't have a chance to have a flat spot because the Dodgers are playing the Rockies, and I know that the Dodgers still haven't clinched the AL or the NL West. So.
You think the Padres are looking at the Dodgers? No, they're looking in the rear view. They're looking at Grimace.
No, we're looking at the Dodgers. I want the Dodgers. I want the freaking Dodgers. I want them in the playoffs. I want everything.
He wants them. And if they fuck them, we'll never forget it.
Give me Ohtani in the playoffs. Give me Mookie Betts. Give me all those guys in San Diego. Please, baseball gods.
Next up, Rockies. Oh, shit. Rockies, Dodgers. Kyle Freeland on the road in Dodger Stadium. We got a to be determined. Someone said, does Kyle make picks anymore? I'm not handicapping baseball. So I'm making bets here and there, and I tell you guys, but I don't do this. We're not the type of show that just like points and picks. If we're giving out a bet, that means we've looked into it and put some time. And I haven't put time into the baseball slate. So I'm just hosting. I'm doing NFL and college football right now. So, Toast, who's pitching for the Dodgers? It's got to be someone good at minus 250, or are the Rockies just that bad?
A little bit of both, I would say. The Rockies are that bad. I think it's going to be Robleski, that lefty kid that they have. That being said, Rockies first 5 money line plus 195. Getting the Dodgers off of 6 games where they've scored 10 runs or more, and then they scored 20 yesterday. Ohtani hits the 50-50, and then I start seeing pictures of tequila bottles in the locker room. We got Gatorade cups everywhere, and then they're going to have to travel across the country and face this Rockies team that would love to play a spoiler, not to mention the fact that Kyle Freeland has been pitching fantastic on the road. His last 3 road starts, New York Yankees, Atlanta Braves, Milwaukee, going 6 innings, and 2 of those 3. The worst start was 6 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs against the Yankees. Hard for me to believe that Kyle Freeland doesn't pitch somewhat decent here today against a bunch of probably hungover Dodgers with a meaningless game against the Rockies. Do the Dodgers maybe pile on some runs late? Maybe. But I think that this price in the first 5 with Kyle Freeland and Robleski, like I said, not to mention the fact that the Dodgers had to fly across the country and they got all loaded up last night. I'm sure it was a great plane ride, especially for Ohtani in the game. But at plus 195 or plus 190 or whatever it is, there's no way I couldn't take a shot with the Rockies here today. Not to mention the fact that Rockies played Arizona really well that series. So I know that they ended up losing really bad one of those games, but I mean, the first 2 games they played really well. So I'm not even in a spot where I feel like the Rockies are playing terrible baseball right now. They were at home, I will give you that, but against the Cubs in Arizona, they looked somewhat formidable. So I'm more than happy to take my chances at a big plus price with Freeland on the mound.
Yo, I think this is a Rocky spot. You got the Dodgers returning from a road trip without a day off. Rockies, like you said, they look pretty good in the Arizona series. They had a day off, so it's not directly out of Coors Field. This might be a dog spot here, plus 205.
Yeah, everybody on the Discord, we're running it. Running it through.
All right, Rockies. I want full game, though. None of this first 5 mess.
Good luck.
Thank you. Next game. Oh, we're on football? All right, Toast.
Football.
Thanks. We'll do the community parlay at the end, and we'll include the football in it.
Have a good day, guys.
Later,
Sorry
man.
about the camera.
Bye, Pookie.
Kyle Theobald, thank you, man. He says, Sauce, you were awesome at baseball. I know you had a cold streak, but you were really nice. No, overall, this baseball season, I did okay. I think I'm finished down like 4 units or something. I don't consider myself bad at baseball or anything. It's just we're not ESPN. We don't have like a 50-person staff. When football starts, we have to distribute. Like Toast does baseball. I do NFL, college football. Prop Beaver helps with NFL. Andy helps with college football. I mean, like we have to distribute. We don't have a 100-person staff, so we can't all just like look at the baseball slate. You know, there's a lot of sports on. So, speaking of football, Armin?
Football!
Armand.
Is that what is Andy going?
I don't know.
I wanted it to be Ramon, but I couldn't put an apostrophe above the O, so I went with Armand.
So it was Armand. Okay, so that's what Prop Beaver put Andy's name as today.
As you naturally would.
All right, first game up. Stanford, Syracuse haven't bet this one yet. Can you put a poll up, please, Prop Beaver? I'm gonna let you guys go first. This is the only game I don't have a bet down in, but I'm open to it. Was kind of leaning towards an over. Who wants to go first here?
I'll start. I'll start with this one. Armand will start here. I have Syracuse team total over 32.5. I think that they're just going to score a lot of points today. I didn't want to bet on a side because after I did a second look at it, I don't know what I was thinking. I thought Stanford could Syracuse could get some stops in this one. Don't know that I have as much confidence as I thought I did in that, so I don't know that they're going to get the stops to cover this. But I just think Kyle McCord is going to tear this team apart. Hoover's done it. We've seen quarterbacks tear Stanford apart. And also they have a running game too. LaQuinn Allen, he needs to be better than he's been. But if they want to go to the running game too to support that, I think they'll have it. So, Syracuse team total over 32.5. There should be a graphic for that. Prop Beaver.
What was your play again? Sorry.
Syracuse team total over.
Oh, the team total.
Which I agree with.
There we go. Yeah.
Syracuse offense looked so good against Georgia Tech, and I know the final score was only 31-28, but that is not indicative of how Kyle McCord and the Syracuse offense looked. They look crisp. That was an impressive performance, and I loved every snap of it because I had Syracuse +3 as a top bet that week. So, yeah, I can't disagree with that. Like I said, I'm leaning towards an over at 56.5. Scoop?
Yeah, I was leaning over 56 too, but I do really want to grab Stanford here. 8.5 is nice. I know most of the public's on Syracuse for good reason. I mean, Syracuse has a better offense than a defense. Plus, Syracuse pass rush seems to be non-existent. Even against a bad Cal Poly team. I'm not so much worried about Stanford's offense because Syracuse doesn't have that great of a defense, but it's better than Stanford. Stanford's run defense is actually pretty solid, but if they're going to give McCord time, he'll definitely pick apart this defense. Plus, you saw Syracuse kind of struggle against Georgia Tech, and not from the run game we're used to. Haynes King was running on the Syracuse defense and pretty well, so Ashton Daniels definitely has the ability. I like Stanford's passing attack. Plus, their first Big Ten game ever. It's a cross country, sure, but they have to be fired up for it. So I'm going to take the point with Stanford, but I like the over more.
The reason that I'm a little hesitant to bet this is no question the public would be leaning towards the over here. I think that's a bit of a popular bet. And this total got bet down 58.5 to 56.5, which is indicative of sharp money coming in on the under. Now, I mean, look at last night. Some sharp action was coming in on Appalachian State. Their team total was set at 35.5. They scored 7 points. So clearly, sometimes the market is terribly wrong. So especially this year, maybe I should not worry at all about what the market. Clearly, the sharp side would be the under here. But I think the over is to play. Like Andy said, Syracuse should score on basically every single drive. The Stanford defense didn't look very good in the TCU game. I was lucky as hell to get my Stanford +9 or +9.5 or whatever I had. I was lucky as hell to get that cover. They really couldn't make stops against TCU. And I think this Syracuse offense was even better. And that game was at home in Stanford. Now they're on the road. Both these teams coming off a bye, too. So I expect the game plan to come out. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 7-7 early in this one after 2 drives. So, yeah, I didn't bet this one. This is the only game of the 3 I don't have a bet down. But I could see myself throwing a few dollars on the over.
Yeah, there was something I wanted to mention.
Oh, wait. Thank you for...
Dicas Quizanas.
Hold on. Dicas Quizinanas. Got it.
Quizanas.
Thank you. Appreciate you watching, man. All right, what else? What did you want to say, Andy? I'm sure it was something enlightening.
No, it was something with Kyle McCord. I mentioned how I think he's going to tear them apart. Number 1 in passing grade against zone this year, 6th in passer rating so far. Obviously, it's early, but that's quite a great ranking. Stanford is 33rd in zone this year, 33rd most zone in the country. So what they run, he is tearing apart, and they are not doing a good job of covering it. They're 99th in zone coverage grade, so they are a bad secondary, bad pass defense overall, and he's dicing up zone this year. So yeah, he should get a lot.
I think Syracuse is the bad passing defense, personally.
Well, that's why I didn't take Syracuse, because I don't trust their defense at all. So yeah. That's why I took the team total.
Let's move on to the next one. Are the Illini live here?
Yeah. That's all I got.
Scoop?
Yeah, I took Illinois here for a reason, and that's so far. I know, right? Rail is obviously going to be a great quarterback, but so far he can't throw against man coverage. He just can't. He's 120th in the nation passing against man coverage. That's all Illinois does. They're 3rd in the country with percentage they play for man. So I'm not saying Raiola can't do it. He's obviously a great quarterback, but so far he's really struggling with it. And Altmaier's not doing bad this season. He has 6 touchdowns. He doesn't have any picks. I think this line's a little too much. I personally took it at 9. I think you took it at 10. So good for you. Yeah, it's more than a touchdown. I'm going to take the points. Since that Colorado game, second half, too, they didn't score a point then. They looked okay against Northern Iowa, nothing special, really, and now they play a really tough defense with Illinois. And, even with Illinois' first away game, I just feel like Nebraska hasn't really faced a team that can run the ball effectively either. So, yeah, I think Illinois, getting this many points, I feel like they definitely have a shot here. Like I said, Nebraska hasn't looked anything special. Offensively, defense, they're doing a great job, but like I said, I think their run defense is going to be susceptible this game.
Yeah, I disagree with the run defense part. I think the Nebraska defensive front 7 is as good as advertised. You won't hear me poking holes in that, and the reason that we haven't really seen the weakness of this Nebraska defense exploited, it's the secondary, by the way. The reason we haven't seen it exploited is the pass rush is so good. Ask the 49ers about that for the last 4 years. They come in every single year with about a mediocre secondary. It looks fine because their pass rush gets home every single play. So I think that's what we're seeing with Nebraska. We're seeing such a good pass rush hide a secondary that maybe isn't that good. Now, we saw Colorado come in here and try it. It's not an offensive line that could keep the pass rush off Shedeur Sanders. And what happened? In the first half, he was running for his life every single time he got the ball. So here we have Illinois, and the reason I like this particular matchup is Illinois' got an offensive line. In fact, I think Illinois' offensive line might be really underrated. Oh, yeah, you could put +7.5. I have Illinois +10. I'd still play it at anything more than a touchdown. So you got a very good Illinois offensive line. And actually, I said this in the video I uploaded last night. Now that Nick Saban retired, No head coach in college football has sent more offensive linemen to the NFL than Brett Bielema, the head coach of Illinois. This is a program that has shown us they could develop NFL offensive linemen. They brought back 3 starters and another guy who played a lot last year. So we have an experienced offensive line that I expect to be one of the best in the Big Ten. This Nebraska defensive front is good. I'm not trying to be like, they won't even get to Altmaier. Of course they will. This is one of the better pass rushers in the country. But I think Altmaier's going to have time in the pocket to throw throughout this game, and he should be able to pick apart this Nebraska secondary. And this total's super low for a reason. I'm not expecting an offensive explosion. Get the ball in the end zone 2 times for me. Get me 17, 20 points in this game, and that should cover. Because on the other side, Illinois' defense isn't anything crazy. They're okay. They're a solid defense. Not extremely good, but not extremely bad. This is by far the strongest test we've seen for the Nebraska offense. In fact, part of me is like, why is everyone so crazy about this Nebraska offense? Yeah, they've got a good offensive line. They've got Raiola, who looks like Patrick Mahomes, blah, 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 all the hype. They're putting up decent average offensive numbers against nobody. They've played nobody. UTEP, an FCS program, and Colorado. Now, Colorado was a good test for the Nebraska defense, but the Colorado defense, that's not a test. Their defense sucks. So Illinois will be by far the strongest test we've ever seen for Nebraska's offense. And I think we're going to see Raiola struggle. We haven't seen him be put in a situation where he's forced to make throws he doesn't want to make. We might see him in that situation in this one. So I think the number's too high. Should be 6.5 in my opinion. So anything above a touchdown, I like Illinois.
Yeah, if you've been listening, you know that I'm a fan of Dylan Raiola. I'm a fan of the way he plays, but I think this is a really bad spot for him. I think this is an Illinois team who has nothing to lose. They've already pulled an upset nobody expected them necessarily to pull already. And now they're going on the road. Nobody expects them to keep this close. And they have a quarterback who plays well on the road. You mentioned it in the video. Luke Altmaier's been really good on the road in his career. And he's gotten off to a good start this year. So I have a lot of expectations for him to come out and play well. And like you just said, Raiola has not faced anybody. Let's be respectful about Colorado. They're a good offense. They're not a good defense. And Raiola only scored 21 in that game. They didn't score 28. Their defense had a pick 6. Scored 21. All those points were in the first half. They didn't score in the second half. This team, for some reason, I don't know what Matt Rule tells them at halftime, but he must just say stop scoring, because this team doesn't score in the second halves of games. They average 23.5 points per game in the first half, average like 6 or something in the second half. They don't score in the second half. So I just think that's not a recipe for success against Illinois, because this team's proven that they defend late in the game. Against Kansas, I mean, Jalen Daniels was in a blender. He didn't know what to do in that game. And now a true freshman in his 4th start is facing a defense that presents those types of challenges. I don't think that's a very good spot for him. So yeah, I'm on Illinois. I think they are alive. I think they can win tonight. I'm actually expecting to watch them win tonight. So yeah,
I feel like they're a very public dog. Not that should scare you off or anything. Someone said Friday night in Lincoln, got to take Nebraska. I'm now back. Here we go. The last time the Nebraska won a home game on a Friday night, Friday, November 25th, 2011. So 13 years
Black
ago.
Friday.
They don't play many, so it's not like, they're 0-56.
That's not true. They play a lot.
They play like once a year.
Black Friday. Yeah, they play every Black Friday.
No, but they're not always at home.
Oh, yeah, fair. At home.
He said
Nebraska's
at
been
home
dog
in
shit
Lincoln.
for 10 years, so.
I think they always play Iowa on Black Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, see, someone said it. Literally every capper on YouTube is on Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't bet this because I don't.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very public dog. But all right, let's go on the next one.
Shout out to that App State over, by the way. Lost by a half a point. Appreciate the 14 points.
Oh, my God. 13 total was 35.
I got hooked on 48 points, and I can't get an over. That's great.
All right, next up, San Jose State, Washington State. And this game is the ultimate, like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, like, what do we really know about San Jose State? And look, just to give you an idea of what I'm dealing with here, because obviously it's my job to break down the game and give you my thoughts, right? Well, look what I'm dealing with in this game. So first of all, the head coach, the brand new head coach for San Jose State is Niamat Tulolo, the guy that was coaching Navy for 20 years. So the guy who's been coaching that Navy run game, the triple option for 20 years, is now coaching San Jose State. But they're a pass-heavy attack. Okay. So the guy that was been coaching Navy the last 20 years takes a San Jose State job, comes out gunning it, just throwing the ball, which, okay, well, that's a weird place to start. So far, San Jose State is undefeated. They're 3-0 and 3-0 against the spread. Okay. So the guy from Navy takes over the head coaching job. They're throwing the ball and they're winning. Okay. There's a start. But then here's where it gets weird. The team, they've played literally nobody. Their toughest game so far was on the road at Air Force. Yeah, it was on the road at Air Force. And this is not the Air Force that you know. This is the worst Air Force team we've seen in 20 years. That Air Force team is terrible this year. This is the worst. This is not last year's Air Force team, I can assure you. They're really bad. So they've played literally nobody. If you power rank the 134 teams in the FBS, maybe Air Force is 124. And that's their strongest game. So they've played nobody, but they are 3-0, and they are 3-0 against the spread. Now here they are against Washington State, a team coming off the upset of the season. They won the Apple Cup, right? They just beat Washington. Some would call that a flat spot. It gets more interesting than that. And look, you decide what you think about this information. The quarterback for San Jose State, want to know who he is? He was Cam Ward's backup at Washington State last year. So, I mean, I would assume he transferred out because he wasn't going to get the starting job this year, right? Exactly. Tell me that's not prime revenge spot. You got Washington State in a bit of a flat spot coming off the big upset. Come home. The guy they're playing is the guy they snuffed out of the starting job last year. He transferred out because he wasn't going to start. And some people are going to look at Emmett Brown. Emmett Brown is the quarterback of San Jose State.
He's also the scientist from Back to the Future.
He's also, yes, Dr. Emmett Brown, yes. Yeah. So also that, he's mastered time travel. No. But, no, so Emmett Brown, in addition, like, because you're going to say he's not very experienced, right? He started 3 games. And like, oh, this is his first road start. Is there a better spot to have your first road start ever than the stadium that was your home stadium last year? This is his home field last year. So, I mean, if there's any away stadium where Emmett Brown might feel a little comfortable making his first road start, it's in Pullman. This was his home field last year. So, look, I bet San Jose State, admittedly, I don't know a ton about this program. I just laid out the circumstances of this team. As far as making a prediction, shit, man. Like, okay, they beat Air Force. Now they can go into Pullman and beat Washington State. Sounds kind of crazy. I really don't know. I bet San Jose State. I talked to some people that I trust that like San Jose State, but as far, I really don't know enough to give you like solid betting advice here. I'm on at San Jose State. I even threw a few dollars on the money line for fun. Let's go Sparty.
Yeah, I mean, you said pretty much everything I was gonna say, but I mean, I guess I gotta believe in Washington State in general. I mean, like you said, the issue with San Jose State, they played Sacramento State, Air Force, and then Kennesaw State. So then it may not have been an easier schedule in the whole country. And like you said, Emmett Brown was on Washington State last year and transferred. But yeah, I mean, this San Jose State team, I don't know if they have a real running game, and when they try to run, it looks like their offensive line is terrible. I just think that makes them kind of one-dimensional. And Washington State has done pretty decent against the pass. It's just hard to back Washington State giving that many points. Yeah, I mean, I didn't bet this personally. San Jose State, even with that many points, they played completely garbage team. Mateer isn't a great thrower by any means. He can scramble and pick up a ton of yards, but he's kind of a garbage quarterback, personally. Yeah, I wouldn't personally bet this game because I'm not sure what Brown can actually do against different competition, and they have a way harder back half of the schedule, but right now I'm going to shy away from this game, but I guess I would lean taking the points.
Andy?
I would lean the other way, and this is just a lean. I haven't bet it yet. I actually do think I'm going to, though. San Jose State, like you said, they haven't played anybody. Played a pile of shit. They played Air Force. We don't like this Air Force. It's the worst Air Force team in a while. And their offensive line has been awful in those games anyway. I mean, and you can't have a bad offensive line going on the road. That's just going to cause problems for I know he's technically not a freshman, but this is his first time starting. So it's his first starting role here. That's a bad spot. I understand he played at Washington State last year. Those fans aren't for him anymore. It's going to be a very difficult place to play on a Friday night, coming off a huge win. I know the letdown spot. I don't really think it's going to affect them too much because they didn't. It's not like they built their season up to beat Washington. Like they saw Washington as their rival, but they have a a really good team. They know they do, and they got a shot to go to the playoff if
I
they
think
win
their
out.
defense is overrated, though.
I think so.
Yeah, but I don't think that the San Jose State offense is really that good. I understand.
Wow, you're doubting Emmett then.
Yeah, I
Doc
understand
Brown.
he started well, but we've seen. A good example is Dante Moore last year. Dante Moore went into his 4th start, and we were like, "Wow, this dude's amazing."
Hold on. I want to
He had
mention
played
something
nobody.
because people are talking about the Washington State defense in the comments, and I want to say, look, if you look at the scores, yeah, they held Texas Tech to 16 points, Washington to 19 points, but I watched every play of that Texas Tech game because Washington State money line was my top bet of the entire week. I watched the entire game start to finish. That Washington State defense looked like shit. Texas Tech had 500 yards of offense in the game. They kept shooting themselves in the foot. But I know you look at the score, 37-16. You're like, oh, they dominated. No, they didn't. Like, I remember watching the game, and I was up like 16 points or something with Washington State money line. And I remember thinking, I can't believe I'm winning this bet. I think I'm on the wrong side right now. And they ended up winning by 21. And then last week against Washington, they got outgained again. Washington had 454 yards of offense, I think it was. And then their other game, Portland State, you might be thinking, oh, they showed out against Portland State. Portland State had 450 yards offense too, 30 points. Now, a lot of them came in garbage time. The final score was 70-30. But we haven't seen one even decent performance from the Washington State defense yet. I think the defense, I think there's holes on the defense. I think we have to seriously question Washington State's defense.
Yeah, I was leaning more. I think that the offense is going to struggle today. It is a change in styles, and I think that the reason that Coach Ken changed his styles because he saw his O-line's not very good. So how are you going to run? How are you going to run the ball when your O-line sucks? I don't know. But yeah, I think they're going to. I know Washington State hasn't gotten a lot of pressure this year, but this is a perfect spot for their pass rush to get going. This is a bad O-line road game Friday night, coming off a big win. I think the energy will be high. Young quarterback who I know, like you said, he played there, but I don't think it's a good spot for him because it's revenge angle, but it's also a revenge angle for the defense. Like, you left us, why'd you leave us? So
because they weren't going to start. What? That's
no,
bullshit.
no.
That's
That's not true.
bro.
That's not true. That's not true.
Doc Brown's going to score 3
That's
touchdowns.
not true.
What? Tell us, Andy.
Everybody was very surprised when he transferred. I remember when he transferred.
Was he going to be the starter?
Why. He was going to compete for the job. Now, nobody's going to hand you the job, but he was going to compete for the job.
Maybe they told him
like,
he was.
Look what they wound up. They wound up with Mateer, who
sucks.
Is he much better? Like, he's good, but he's not that much better.
I'd rather have Doc Brown.
Doc Brown.
I agree because I think
And Marty
they're
McFly is
very
running back.
similar. If you watch them, they're very similar. They can both run a little bit, but I don't think it's a good spot for this San Jose offense. They have not played anybody yet. This is a huge step up in class, as Toast would say.
The IDK guy, I mean, I would actually take that if I can't find it, but a Mateer anytime touchdown because he's going to run for a touchdown somewhere.
Yeah, I could see him using his legs. And as far as Washington State running the ball, look, I'm not going to be like, oh, San Jose State can shut it down. But I will say, you want to know who's third in the country in yards per play allowed in the entire country? San Jose State's defense. I mean, yes, they've played nobody, but they're third in the country. They're allowing 2.8 yards per play or something crazy.
That Mateer anytime touchdown is juice to Bolivia. It's minus 175.
Oh, screw that.
Yeah.
So there's something. Look, the 2.8 yards per play allowed. Obviously, those numbers are they played nobody, right? So that you have to take that into consideration. But you know what that does do, in all seriousness, on maybe like a psychological level, players are coming in with this confidence. San Jose State thinks they can win this game. I can guarantee you, they think that they're going to win this game. So confidence goes a long way. We see what happens with Billy Napier's Florida Gators team when the confidence disappears. Play changes. So you got a very confident San Jose State coming in that's literally dominated every one of their games so far. Look, Washington State's the much better team here, but that confidence can carry them, man. Sparta.
Plus, Nick Nash is a great wide receiver for San Jose. So.
What's his name?
Nick Nash.
Damn, that's a badass name.
Confidence can only get you so far.
It's just a building.
It's just a building.
It's just a building.
I wrote that down on my USC Michigan cap.
Just a building. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
That was funny as shit. All right, let's do the community parlay. Hit the song.
Community parlay, the parlay we bet, yeah. Community parlay is for the community. We community, making a parlay. Yeah.
All right, so what we'll do is we have 14 baseball games and 3 football games, so that's 17. We only have 16 spots in the polls, in the 4 polls. So we'll pick a baseball game that's just stupid and leave it out. Or you know what? We'll leave the Washington State game out because Washington State money line will be stupid. So, Reds money line. Blue Jays money line. Orioles money line. Braves money line. And while they're voting, did you want to do the underdog while they're voting?
Yeah, sure. Andy prepared the underdog for us today. It's a all-college underdog. Let me put it up on the
Spit that
screen
shit, Andy.
for everybody.
What'd you cook up?
Oh,
What did
here
I
you
cook
go.
up? So the first one, Kyle McCord, I was pretty clear about that against the zone coverage. He's going to throw all over the Stanford defense. And also put Ashton Daniels running the ball. We talked about Haynes King ran all over him. I think Ashton Daniels will be able to run all over Syracuse as well. The only thing that would worry me there is sacks. I don't love college quarterback rushing props because sacks can screw them over. Syracuse not that great of a pass rush. It's decent, but not great pass rush. But so I don't mind that one. And Illinois, I put the Luke Altmaier completions. I think they're gonna want to throw the ball today on the road. I think they're gonna be able to get that. And even if they're losing, completions, easy completions that'll get them down the field. So yeah, over completions.
Oh,
All right.
Very, very nice, Andy. So that was a 3-pick to win 6 right there. And then as far as the lovely promos go for our friends at Underdog, I mean, we still got CeeDee Lamb going with the free pick for all customers over a half total yard. Gotta love that. And then the new one is Patrick Mahomes over a half total yard free pick for new customers.
Kermit the Frog here.
Yeah, Jesus. And then that is eligible in all the yellow states there. If you are not a customer yet and you would like to become one, you could get a cash deposit match up to $1,000 if you use the promo code BET. Good.
All
Yeah.
right, well, who won the poll?
The poll winner was the Atlanta Braves.
Braves money line, first leg of the community parlay.
The Braves.
Man, I hope the community loses that one. I would love a Marlins win here.
All right. So
Armand, I like your chain. It's nice.
is it from your home country?
yeah.
Next up, it's going to be Phillies money line is next. Oh no, Mets won that poll. So
Okay.
Mets money line,
Grimace.
Twins money line, Mariners money. Mets. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, Grimace, Twins, Mariners, Astros. Yeah, Astros. By the way, tomorrow we'll be live 10 a.m. Eastern time going through, I think we have 29 games. And we are going to go in order of kickoff except for the 5 biggest games. So, yeah, the truth is I used to do it that way last year. People still complained, but I think more people are complaining this year. So, man, what we're going to do is we're going to go in order of the kickoff, in order of the start times, except for the 5 biggest games we'll do at the end. Because those are fun when everyone's in the chat. Those are a lot of fun. I
think we got an even 30.
Yeah, I think it's 30.
30 games? Okay.
I have a bet that's not on one of them. I got Bowling Green tomorrow.
Grimace is on there.
Who are they playing?
Texas A&M, they're at A&M.
How many points you taking?
22.5.
22 and a half.
Ooh, is the freshman starting or is Wigman?
Yeah, it's his first career. Not his first start, but his first start at A&M.
Do you think Wigman lost the job?
Oh yeah. There's talks all over Texas.
That has to be
the Wegman now.
That's crazy. He was talked about in the NFL draft, and he lost the job in 2 games.
But when you look at the game logs, you're like,
no, I know he was terrible.
Yeah.
Diamondbacks money line.
Diamondbacks.
Royals money line.
Royals.
Guardians money line. And Yankees money line.
And Connor Bazelak's gonna be scared of the A&M fans. He's got another thing coming. He wasn't afraid of Happy Valley.
Cast your votes.
Brian McKeown, we bet straight.
Huh?
He said, do we bet straight or parlay? We bet straight.
Straight. I only bet parlays for fun.
Yeah, this is the community parlays for fun.
Like I'll throw $5.
Oh, he's asking what to do. No, I think he's asking about the community well, no, it's called the community parlay. So
I think that is.
We bet the parlay is parlay.
I bet like $5 on like a 12-team stupid ass bet every week.
Padres money line.
I don't win.
Dodgers money line. Then Illinois money line because people voted for Illinois, and then Syracuse money line. What's the last leg of this parlay? So it's so far it's Mets, Braves, D-backs, and then let's see who the last leg is. Looks like it's going to be Padres.
So it's basically the screw the Mets parlay.
Well, the Mets are in it, so
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
plus 610.
Yeah, I gotta say I hope this doesn't hit.
Well, I mean, if the Mets win, whatever.
No, I would like.
It's
them
just
to
basically
extend
every
the-
NL team. It's all the 4 teams racing in the NL right now.
It's the wild card parlay.
Yeah, it's a wild card race right there. But honestly, all 4 of these teams keep winning, so I can't even.
Yeah, if anything, it's probably been quite profitable as of late.
These 4 legs would have been very profitable over the last few weeks. So, all right. Community parlay, Braves money line, Mets money line, D-backs money line, Padres money line plus 610. Thanks everyone for watching. See you 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. Might go live about 10-15 minutes early and take questions if you have any of the smaller games you want to ask me about. But the show starts 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, going right up to kickoff. Have a good night. Remember to bet. Oh, all of our top bets. I have 7 bets posted for tomorrow, I think. If you want to go check them out on KyleKirms.com, click on open bets, and I'll be looking all night. So that open bets tab is going to be added to as this night progresses, and then I'll post my top bets on the website for tomorrow morning. I'll do it late before I pass out. That actually, I should only do the top bets because I'm down units in college football, slightly down in NFL. My top bets in the NFL 3-2-1. My top bets in college football are 7-8. It's like not even that bad. So yeah, the top.